Having a great day. For all of you people from both YouTube and Twitch, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'm doing pretty swell myself. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, all of that stuff. Share if you really like what we're doing. And, warning, I am an 18 plus channel, so just be prepared. Sometimes the content can get pretty dicey. So, just want to go ahead and let you guys know, in case. Anyway, as per usual, let me go ahead and get set up here. It takes me only a couple moments just to have to update some things on the channel. And then I should be right with you all. Excuse me. I just realized the dumb reference that I didn't make that I could have made. You know, things on this channel can get pretty magic bullet. But nobody would have understood that. They're like, magic bullet? What do you mean? Dicey. Because the magic bullet is like a kitchen item that, you press the button and it dices. So, anyway. Alright. Paint this up. And I guess it's good to go. That's already saved. Fantastic. Hey everyone, hello and welcome. How are you guys doing? Hurley, Dominic, nice to see everybody. Let me switch you all over to the multi-stream so I can keep up with all of it. And switch this over. Let me go ahead and get this here. Everybody doing all right today? I'm starting on a relatively on-time schedule here. Hello, Demon Pumpkin. How you doing? Trying to get my multi-stream to go ahead and pop up here. It seems to be having issues. I mean, it's working, but it's just not showing up where it should, so. Alright. Glad to hear it, Dominic. Glad to hear it, Pumpkin. And let me go ahead and start this. Naomi, welcome back. How you doing? Hola, hola to you as well. You know, good old Binya Binya. Previously on Elder Scrolls Daggerfall, our hero, after claiming his birthright of existence, ran off towards osmium, trying to go ahead and get to the letter. So close and yet so far, our hero stopped for the night and then continued on their journey. Will they finally reach the Orc Dungeon? Will they finally deliver the letter? Will they be able to make a decent movement and make some space? Find out this episode, on this episode of Elder Scrolls Daggerfall. Ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da-da-ba-da-da-ba, ba-ba. Alright. I don't know how to fill up space in the beginning there, guys. I know my intro is trash. But, I gotta do something with it. Okay, osmium, we are still heading southeast-ish. And I'm doing alright. Just trying to go ahead and get to this next quest area. I have to go into here, grab a letter that's, like, at the bottom. I don't like this dungeon. This dungeon is pretty... It's pretty convoluted. So it's a little difficult to find my way through. In the meantime, I'm gonna take a look at what I have left for quest line. Bookmarks. Let's get down here to the bottom. Nope. Black acrylic paint. Main quest. Singularity. Black paint. Alright, so we are currently heading to Orcish Emancipation. Attack the Minnesera, receive the letter, go to Gortwog, find the Emperor's letter in Gortwog's fortress, and return to Minnesera. Okay. Osmi and Gortwog. Sorry, I'm taking a look real quick at all of the updates it does. Enemies, notes, refers to this quest as Orc Emancipation. Save before clicking on the letter. Okay, it looks like that's pretty important. Save before clicking on the letter. It's in big letters there. How's the adventure so far? Going to a close, but it's still gonna take a while. I need to go ahead and reach this area right over here. Get a letter from deep inside this dungeon. Then we're gonna sit around this island for a while. Or we're just gonna do stuff around the area until somebody sends me a psychic message and says, hey, I need you to come pick up your ghost cocaine. I'm gonna go grab the ghost cocaine. Then from there, I don't exactly know what we do. I assume we have to do the, I assume we do the tomb. And if we don't, then we're gonna go back to Sentinel, turn that in, back over to Daggerfall, turn that in, and then, I don't know. There's a proper order that I'm not really sure of because it's kind of difficult to figure out. So, Lysandus is, I need both of these done. Visit Medora once she's finished preparing the dust. So, I think that I have to have the Sentinel mission done first in order for it to pop up. I'm not sure. Let's see. Locations. Prerequisite. Dust of Restful Dead and Ancient Watcher. So, I won't even be able to pick up this dust until I turn in the Ancient Watcher stuff. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go ahead and do a couple things. So, what it looks like, I'm gonna have to go over here, grab a letter, then I'm gonna have to run all the way back here to turn in this sword that I'm holding on to. Hop over to Daggerfall to go turn in this letter that I have. And then I'm going to have to go back here to Isles of Belfaria to go pick up the ghost cocaine. And then deal with the tomb. And then I guess there's something else that has to happen. So, let's see. This will take... where am I currently? Right there. So I'm here... so I will probably end right around here, hop to Sentinel in the next one, and then to Daggerfall. So let me take a rough estimate. 1, 2, and then 3. So more likely than not, it'll take me about 4 days to get to the full next quest section. Also, Biscuit Buzzer, how you doing? You know how in all ant species, all ants have specializations? Yes, every ant has a job. Like their bodies are built for it? Yep, they are raised in particular ways to go ahead and turn them into whatever they need to be. well. Uh-oh. Here we go. Ants take 0 fall damage. There are ants in ant species whose sole purpose is to be a door. What? What? I'm gonna have to look this up. Do you know the name of the current quest you're on? I can actually tell you the name of the current quests that I am on. So, I am currently doing 2 quests right now. I have both Ancient Watcher and Orcish Emancipation under my belt. Orcish Emancipation is the one that I have to go to Orsinium for, so that's getting the letter and taking it back to Minas Ithil. And then Ancient Watcher is, I already have the quest item for it. It's just that it told me I had 300-something days to do it, so, you know, it made sense to go ahead and just grab it. Although, now I feel dumb, because if I would have just gone from there, gone to Ukulon, and gone straight down, Lysandra's Revelation probably could have popped up roughly about the same time. I could have gotten the dust and the letter. And then turned in the letter, and then turned around and gotten the totem. So I definitely kind of messed up when I did my tracking. I probably could have knocked out Ancient Watcher at the same time. But, yep. Like it has a massive forehead. You know the tunnels they have? Its purpose is to block the tunnel in case anything happens, like they get attacked. I had no idea that was a thing. I hope they tip him well. You know, if he's gonna go ahead and be a door. Of course they don't tip their ants. But yeah, that sounds pretty interesting. I had no idea. I think probably my favorite ants are, like, the builder ants. Let me see. Ants that use their bodies to build. Yeah, army ants, by far probably my favorite, because they will latch onto each other to create bridges and stuff, or to solve a problem. Or they'll latch onto each other to go ahead and create a flotation device as they go down water. They're super cool. Google it, you won't be disappointed. Red ants? Oh man, I've had my run-in with red ants before. Puerto Rico has fire ants, and I have made the ever so fun decision when I was a kid to step in an anthill. And let me tell you, I do not recommend it. For anybody who is curious about stepping on an anthill just to see what they will do, I don't recommend it. It was not fun. It hurt. Also, might I also not recommend walking through nettles? In Puerto Rico, we called them maligrosa, and I didn't know what a maligrosa was, and I just thought it was a pretty flower. So I went through this nice little field filled with nettles, and they fucking hurt. So, I don't recommend nettles or fire ants. 2 pains I am not too particular for. So, I did it, now you don't have to. I mean, unless you're a glutton for pain, then have at it. Okay, ants that act as doors. The species of ant is remarkable because their dish-like heads act as living doorways. Large workers of turtle ants can use their heads to block entrances. The turtle ant. Look at this. Look at this turtle ant. Huh. That is pretty interesting. I mean, it would make a good defense against other ants, you know. They're definitely pretty well armored, and I assume they have some pretty hard carapace that you can't just get through. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. So, ants have bouncers. Good to know. Listen, if we weren't the dominant, like, species on this planet, I would be highly concerned that the ant would be the dominant species for being an insect. They're just so regimental and capable of doing so much. I mean, they're small, but I wonder if, like, any ants could become larger and stuff like that. You know, Gron from the Lord of the Rings? I do not remember Gron from the Lord of the Rings, but if you give me a description, I probably will. It has been a very long time since I have read those books. Or, you know, watch the movies for that matter. There's an ant species that's specialized ants that build like Grond. Constricted. Okay, so what's it? Shields. The Great Battering Ram, and also the Weapon of Morgoth. No, that's okay. Yeah, I understand. And hello, Diego. I'm doing pretty fantastic. Just on my way to hopefully get through this quest today. Have you heard of the Africanized killer bees coming to America? That was a while ago. I believe we had killer bees come here before. We also had murder hornets. But I think we've actually had killer bees here before. Yeah, I don't think it's the first time I've heard of us having killer bees. That I remember, anyway. I'm a really big fan of bees, so bees are cool. I know my way around the bee. You remember in Romania? Like, look at your thumb. Okay. I'm looking at my thumb. Take a good look at it, okay? and imagine it was a hornet. Oh, yeah, the murder hornets. I remember those. Watched an old documentary. Oh, yeah, about the killer bees and everything. Yeah, I'm very familiar with the murder hornets and the killer bees and stuff like that. Bees are probably what I consider top insects along with ants. I don't think bees could ever take over everything, but I do think ants would have the possibility, you know, if we were an insect-based society. Yeah, I will say killer bees are interesting. It's because if you don't know the history of the killer bee, they were just trying to make a very passive bee. So they bred two types of bees together that were considered extremely calm and passive. And, you know, the two negatives got together and produced a positive, and the bee that came out was like this hyper-aggressive, extremely territorial bee that just murdered everything in sight. So it was, pretty interesting experiment. I guess that goes back to the whole, you know, genetic modification. This is why you need genetic modification testing to know, because otherwise you're going to go ahead and mix up a gene, and then suddenly the zucchinis are going to be grabbing up people with their, you know, zucchini tentacles. Mad science. It's a practice science. I just don't think anybody expected that outcome. I think they were breeding expecting, you know, how like dogs or foxes, if you continue to get the docile foxes, because there's a 50-year project where they managed to go ahead and evolve foxes into dogs. And over a long period of time, they started breeding the most calm and loyal ones and stuff like that. And these foxes, they act just like dogs now. They bark, they have more rounded ears, you know, they have more slender tails, things like that. It's just really interesting to see. And that was, I believe it was like a Russian program or something that did it. I'm not sure. Let me take a look real quick. Experiments that breeds foxes into dogs. In the 1950s, geneticist Dmitry Belyaev conducted the well-known animal domestication experiment in Russia. Yep. So it was. In which he tamed silver foxes by selectively breeding the friendliest ones. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Next, they're gonna breed furry foxes. I mean, but aren't foxes already furry? I don't understand. They already have fur. Yeah, well, I was looking up some talking points for, like, dog breeding history and stuff. I did come across some of these. I haven't had the chance to really dive deep into it, but I did come across some interesting stuff. You mean fennec foxes? They're not actually fennec foxes. They're a type of... They're a type of, like, silver fox. But they're very domesticated. Like, to the point where these things are starting to resemble dogs. And the experiment is still ongoing. Furry as in the people cosplaying as animals. I actually have no problems with the furry community. I may not always think that... I guess they do get a bad rap from, like, the furverts and stuff, as they call them. It's kind of like in any community where, you know, you have the people who watch anime, and then you have the people who are beaten off to anime. And the people who are beaten off to anime define the people who are just, you know, watching anime because they think it's cool. And the same thing kind of happened to the furry community, where they got the people who were, you know, doing the perverts and stuff and that were out there and doing their shit. They kind of defined the entire furry community. So they get a really bad rap a lot of times when, you know, it's really not as bad as people make it out to be. It's just everybody always thinks of the worst people in the community represent it. Yeah, unfortunately, but that's kind of how it is. I will say, those people who make fursuits, holy shit, they have some money. If you do not know, those fursuits are like... Oh, I think every fursuit I have encountered is upwards of $1,000. Bronies? I don't really have much to say about the bronies, because I don't think I've run into a brony that I've particularly had much good things to say about. Not to say that they are not good people or anything, or there aren't good people in the community. It's just that everyone that I have run into tends to be either super self-righteous, or their opinion is the only opinion, and God forbid you have a different opinion. And as much as they talk about, you know, supporting everybody as a whole in a community, I have not run into one that is willing to go ahead and support. The furry community, they'll give you the shirt off their fucking back. Those guys are freaking bros. If you ever run into if you're ever in trouble and you really need the help, more likely than not, the furry community is going to offer it. That's just the kind of community they are, but... I don't mind anyone as long as they don't rub it in my face. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. I'm super tolerant of pretty much everybody. I may have my opinions on people and stuff, but one, I will never let that bias me as a person. And two, I really don't, like, have a problem. I have problems with particular instances and people and experiences, but never really problem with the whole people. So, yeah, I try not to let my personal experiences cloud my judgment. Man, we're starting off strong. We're already talking about breeding foxes and furries. Oh, man. Humanoid fox. Oh, they do be a cursed image. So, if you're talking about humanoid foxes, you mean, like, also, key thing, I've never seen Full Metal Alchemist, so, I only know a couple references. Like, you know, the dog-human girl thing, right? Is that what you're talking about? You know, except, like, a version of that, but fox? I had a conversation with a furry, he screamed at me. Furrydom. I can imagine how that would come out. So I don't know. Some people just take it too far, but you know, everything in excess is problematic. You meant it as a joke? Listen, if we're talking about human hybrids, what animal would you consider the best animal if you had to go ahead and choose to, like, splice your genetics with? What animal would you splice with? You become a half human, half insert whatever animal here. Probably a wolf. Okay. Seem like a good option. They could be a pretty good option. I mean, I assume with the heightened sense of smell and, you know, relatively decent night vision. Imagine being fluff. Is that why? Is that what you would do it for, the fluff? Seem like bros to each other. I mean, I guess they can be. A lot of wolves will cooperate rather than just go to war with other tribes and stuff, or other packs. I think wolves have come to realize that their common problem is they're all hunted down regardless. A whale shark human would be freaking cool. A whale shark human. Imagine just a giant gelatinous human floating through the ocean. I don't know. I think we have enough gelatinous humans floating in the ocean right now. Alligator. Interesting. So, why would you guys choose what you would choose? What's your whole reason for it? Obviously, Biscuit wants to do it for the floof. Can't see any other reason. Sugar glider? Sugar glider human. Have a nice, be a little floating ratling at that point. Sugar glider human. You also love dogs? Yeah, I mean, it would make it easier to communicate and stuff. Well, I don't know, dogs and wolves... It's funny, because when you think of a wolf, you're usually thinking of that particular look that dogs have in movies. But most of the time, they use, like, huskies and stuff in movies to represent wolves. And usually not wolves, because wolves are freaking large. They're better than all pets and humans on some occasions. What I would like to see is if that guy could ever finish his direwolf project and breed, like, rideable wolves. Man, that'd be cool. Can you imagine you have such a big bond with your wolf that you and them just go riding? So me and my children can take over the world, Jurassic Park, the moment, the movie style. All right. A man, bear, pig, or minotaur? All right, catch you later, Demon Pumpkin. Honestly, if I had to mix with anything, I'd probably either have to go with ant, jellyfish, or cuttlefish. You know, I obviously, we did have a discussion about ants, but I do rank ants as probably one of, like, the greatest things on the planet. I like chickens. Chickens are, like, one of my... I guess they're my favorite bird. I really do enjoy the chicken. But... Ant-Man. Ant-Man was actually my call sign while I was deployed. Go watch Disenchanted with my little bro. Alright, catch you later. Pretty good show. Pretty funny. But I just think the ant comes with a lot of really good qualities. You know, the ability to pretty much be durable as hell. Be able to lift a lot of things that are heavier than I am. Have an excellent sense of smell. You know, bad eyesight can just be corrected. I mean, or you can just, you know, get glasses or laser surgery or many other things. But having that ability to distinguish different senses of smell would be pretty nice. We're not gonna go in there, whatever it is. I think spider wouldn't be a bad merge, but seriously, I'd mix with an alligator because I don't have to eat for a good bit. Be able to swim really. Oh yeah, that's a really good. I didn't even think about that. The ability to not have to eat and be able to swim extremely well. How you doing, Scout? All right, today's topic, Scout, is if you could splice with any animal, what animal would you splice with, and why? Or at least that's the current topic right now. No restrictions, by the way. So feel free to be real absurd with it. I personally think my number one would be the ant. Jellyfish wouldn't be too bad. I think at the sacrifice of some of my intelligence, I would probably be, you know, pretty dumb. But jellyfish, they're just freaking near indestructible. Those things, like, aside from being able to, like, sting stuff all the time, they're just indestructible. Especially, you know, the immortal jellyfish, like, that thing is super cool. The fact that the problem with it is that it still polyps like other jellyfish and everything. An eagle, so you can fly. Okay, so you would go ahead and sacrifice your bone density to be able to go ahead and fly. Because I know if I merged with an ant, I would probably lose a lot of my eyesight, if not my eyesight, period. But gain an excellent sense of smell with a lot of strength. I'd be Daredevil. But yeah, I think a jellyfish would also be a good one. And then, where does they start my third one? Cuttlefish. Yeah, because here, the problem with being able to go ahead and fly, birds have hollow bones. So that's why birds are so light, which allows them to go ahead and fly despite their size. So if you were to go ahead and merge with an eagle and be able to fly, you would need to have much more brittle bones in order to be able to do so. Or your wings would be massive and they would be just super cumbersome and you wouldn't really be able to do anything because you'd have these giant ass wings. Plus, I think flapping those big old wings would cause a lot of stamina loss and nutrition. So you'd constantly have to be eating, you know, flying around with McDonald's in hand. But yeah, you'd probably sacrifice your bone density to be able to fly. Humans are just not designed for flying because we have such thick and dense bones. You know, just like how you have a lot of fish that tend to have cartilage versus bones. You're smart, I didn't know any of that. Oh, I'm not smart, I just spend a lot of time in books. That's all. Yeah, birds have much lighter bones. That's why they're very prone to breaking stuff, or breaking a bird's, any type of avian's bird-like bones is easy. Be Cheetah Man. Alright, I could see Cheetah Man being good. You would you'd still have to eat a ton. They have high bursts of speed. They are definitely the fastest land animal. But they have high bursts of speed. Cheetahs, interestingly enough, have a lot more akin to cats than they do a lot of the other big cats. Cheetahs do not have the roar ability like a lot of other big cats do, and instead sacrifice their roar for more efficiency, speed, and flexibility. If I'd pick any bird, I'd be an owl. Okay. I think I'd have to agree with you. The owl, as far as I am concerned, is probably, like, top tier A predator bird. Have you ever, like... Have you ever seen an owl swoop in on something? The feathers of an owl actually act as a sound suppressant. So, when an owl goes in for a swoop, it is completely silent. It doesn't make any noise. That's just cool. Think of like hawks and stuff. Yeah, you can usually hear them coming and all of that because they do make a noise, but their feathers just absorb all sound. That's freaking awesome. It's really cool to watch them in wind tunnels and the machines are analyzing them because the air around them does really cool things because of the way their wings are shaped and the way their feathers are shaped. Hey, we're getting close. Finally crossed the border, and then from here, we can just go... Once we cross the border a second time, I think from there we can go directly east. If you had to make any animal extinct, which would you choose? A single animal? I can see why you'd get rid of wasps. I don't know exactly what, like, ecological niche wasps fit into. Let me look this up. What niche does a wasp fill? As meat eaters, they either fill carnivorous or carrion eater niches. Social wasps are ecologically important as they remove large numbers of plant-eating insects from their ecological communities. So, wasps, even though they are abominable hatred spawns, apparently they fill in by eating up plant-eating bugs that would normally go unchecked. Flies are worse, though? Flies get rid of a lot of dead stuff, though. Like, flies and maggots get rid of a lot of dead things. I would definitely not get rid of them. I don't know, probably something like that wouldn't bother anybody, like the Shaw's Jerd. The Shaw's Jerd is a type of gerbil. Oh, fuck, sunfish. I didn't even think about that. Let me see what fucking niche the sunfish fills, though. Probably just fills up space. What niche does the sunfish fill? National Geographic, you better not have anything fucking good to say about these things. Retarded fish. Excuse my language for anybody out there who maybe have a slight mental disorder or anything, but man, I freaking hate the sunfish. It is absolute garbage. Anyway, I'm about to go on the sunfish rant, so I'm gonna try and stop that one now. Freaking have me going off for 20 minutes about how garbage the sunfish is. Anyway, I would probably get rid of the Shaw's Jerd. It's just a type of gerbil that doesn't really do anything, and there are plenty of other gerbils that could easily fill in the niche that the Shaw's Jerd would leave behind. So, I don't think anybody would notice if it disappeared. Mosquitoes and ticks, every living thing on Earth would be glad if they go extinct. You would not be glad if they went extinct. Mosquitoes, despite the fact that mosquitoes may be bloodsuckers and everything, they are still some of the top pollinators in the world. Because most mosquitoes are not like bloodsuckers. A lot of mosquitoes actually eat nectar. It's only the females that suck on blood. And it's usually only during mating season, too. Most mosquitoes just don't go out of their way to do so. A lot of your mosquitoes are actually just fruit eaters, so they are a huge pollinator. That's the reason I didn't want to get rid of mosquitoes, is because I know that would be a massive impact. Nah, just give me more bees. I mean, that sounds good, but unfortunately all the bees are disappearing anyway, so we are at a precipice where bees are just disappearing, and we really don't know why bees are disappearing. So we gotta take the pollinators where we can get them. Plus the fact that we did the dumb decision of releasing mosquitoes, genetically modified mosquitoes, out into the world that have lower birth rate percentages. So when they go ahead and mate with things, it'll pass on a gene that'll cause a lot of the mosquitoes to go ahead and die off. So it'll lower the overall global population. But the bigger problem is the fact that these mosquitoes will then go on to breed with more mosquitoes, which will then pass on this gene. So effectively, we have created the possibility of causing mosquitoes to go extinct without even thinking about what this could mean for the environment. Or thinking about that genetics, thinking about something that eats that could possibly absorb that genetic into it and have a mutation where it also gets that same thing. I mean, it's a possibility. You never know. But yeah, we've already released mosquitoes into the wild that could eventually lead to the extinction of the mosquito. And it is a terrible thing because they pollinate so damn much. Huh? What? What do you mean, why does it look like that? It's Twitch. It's on the stove. Giant box. Did you hear about how ticks were somehow experimented on by the US government, which is why they carry Lyme disease? I don't think that one's true. I'm gonna look that up right now. I'm pretty sure that Lyme disease just comes naturally out in the wild. I know that there are some people who... contracted Lyme disease due to an experiment, but I'm pretty sure that Lyme disease was a naturally occurring thing. My second pick would be humans, because we've made many species extinct, set off nuclear warfare devices, and ruined the ecosystem. I just feel the Earth would be better off without humans. I mean, I couldn't tell you. I have a hard time really fathoming a planet without humans, because it would be an admission that I myself would have to be extinct. So it's hard for me to go ahead and picture a world without me in it. As egotistical as that sounds, it's selfish, and I just don't want to picture a world where I don't exist. So... humans going extinct means no more Azo's stream. I'll keep the humans. Oh, I appreciate it. That's very... Hush. That's very flattering. But I can't picture a world where humans are not in it. I mean, let's take a look at the pandemic here. When we all had to shut the fuck up and go inside... The amount of things that fixed themselves in the time where we stopped operating and we were all stuck inside, it's crazy. Like, the hole in the ozone layer fixed itself because we weren't constantly pumping out carbon dioxide and everything. Trees and forests and stuff were able to go ahead and repair themselves. There's a lot of things that happen. I feel like maybe we should do that. Like, there should be a month every year where just everybody just stops. Yeah, but I'm not talking about snow. I'm talking like a thing, like, where everybody just stops doing. Industry just comes to a halt for, like, a bit. I feel like that would be a good solution, and I mean 1 month a year, or even 2 weeks a year. 2 weeks a year, where everybody just goes inside, everybody stops driving their cars and everything. That would solve so many ecological issues, because the Earth will repair itself. You know, plants are going to do what they always do. Nature's going to continue to do what it does. And nature's been here a hell of a lot longer than we have. I mean, hell, plants have been here longer than the bacteria have. The like fungi and a lot of the bacteria that ate through a lot. Let me clarify, because I sounded dumb there for half a second. Plants have been here longer than some of the bacteria that cause things to decay have. That's where you get things like petrified trees, because petrified trees fell down, there was nothing to decompose them, so they just fossilized. Yeah, we're getting close. Man, if I would have taken a look at the chart better, I probably would have made the decision to go straight from Yucalon back to Sentinel. That would have just been a better decision overall. Because now I'm going to have to go here and then go back to... I guess I would have to do it regardless. Cosmic Emperor, hello and welcome. What's your favorite genre of music? I don't know, that's hard. I have 4 favorite genres. 1940s, classic rock, EDM, and hardcore gangster rap. I like those 4 things. You know, I feel that hardcore gangster rap is really nice and calming to go ahead and cook to and stuff like that. I do. I really like hardcore gangster rap. Like when I'm cooking and stuff, it gets me in a zone, gets me in a rhythm. And EDM gets me kind of depressed, which is really weird. But electronic dance music like trance and stuff gets me depressed, but it also gets me creative. So I really enjoy that. 1940s is more of a guilty pleasure. 1920s through 40s music, like big band era and stuff like that, I really enjoy. Just harkens to me as a person. And then classic rock is just kind of what I grew up with. So yeah, those are my big 4. I couldn't really choose any genre over the next, and I really just appreciate music in general. Yeah, music in general is just good to me. I don't have to necessarily... Like, let me tell you, fucking Indian music bops. It bops hard. I'll be sitting there just jamming out to some Indian music. They have a way with beats. And the same with, like, African music. With, like, I guess saying African music is really hard. I can't really think of any specific area in Africa that I think their music is better than the others. So I kind of say Africa as a continent and not like Africa as a place. All of the music that comes out from Africa, I have enjoyed. They have some really good fucking, like, pop artists and shit out there. And I'm not normally a big on pop. I appreciate you thinking I'm the best. I think there are better streamers out there and stuff. and better people out there, but I do appreciate the appreciation. I appreciate your appreciate. Country's okay. I don't have a problem with country, but I also grew up with, like, old country, like Brooks and Dunn. Looks good. I grew up with, like, old country, like Brooks and Dunn and Garth Brooks before a lot of the modern stuff. So, yeah. It's not, when I say I grew up with it, it's because my dad played all kinds of music. My dad doesn't care about genre, he just likes music in general. So, he's always told me if I ever want to get him anything at any point, get him a record. He will always be happy with music. And he knows that I've got this nose for picking out good music that he would enjoy. I can sniff out all kinds of stuff from pretty much any genre. Like, there's this really weird band that I introduced him to called Finger Thing. And they're like... I really don't know how to describe Finger Thing. They fall in this weird rap, rock, big band, and EDM genre. They fall in the weird genre that kind of fits all of the stuff that I like. Okay, I think we're not too far from it. What? You made what too symmetrical? Ah, okay. You're more of a heavy metal and rock type of guy? Nothing wrong with a little bit of metal. Who's your preferred? Because when you're talking about metal, I'm more of like Blind Guardian, Iced Earth, Demons and Wizards. I've heard my fair share of like War and Pantera and stuff like that, but I prefer my heavy metal to be right at the edge of heavy metal rather than like... I'm not a big fan of screaming because I like lyrics, and it always bothers me when I hear like some of these metal artists just giving the good old throat scream. And I'm just like, your voice is so good. I can tell that your voice is good. Pretty emotional. I guess. I mean, it's just the thing. I prefer instrumentals over vocalists. We didn't, and I can't think of one right now. And a little bit of rap, too. Okay. I don't know. I just, like, if you want to talk about what I think are good rappers, I think that Aesop Rock is good. I do like Eminem, and I think Army of the Pharaohs is probably one of my top favorite. But Army of the Pharaohs is hard and controversial. I don't know if you want to just... That's not something you just go listening to. That's something you gotta be in a mood for. I mean, that's just casual cooking music to me, but... I've seen my fair share of chinchillas. I dated a girl who had a chinchilla. Depends on the chinchilla. They can be skittish, they can be personable, like chinchillas have a personality, so metalcore. Yeah, you're pushing up Luft's alley. She's more that way. Yeah, she's more into that than I am. I'm just as at home in a mosh pit as I am at like a jazz festival. So I just kind of fit in wherever I sit. What's your favorite race in the Elder Scrolls? Argonians. Like, it's not even a that's not even a question. It's just Argonians.
As much as I hate to say it, high elves.
I mean, everybody's got preferences.
I'll be the first to admit that they're pompous assholes, but
I mean,
I think I like the way they do their architecture.
My second favorite is the Khajiit. I think the Khajiit culture is pretty cool. Yeah, the Argonians, I just think they're such a resilient race that does not get the credit due to them. And then the Khajiit, you know, everybody just thinks of them as thieving and everything, but they're trying to just survive, once again, in a place that just wants to reject them constantly, and they come from a very different background in comparison. All about that indie psychedelic rock. That's good stuff too. That is good stuff too. You got any recommendations for bands and stuff, you guys? I'm always looking for good music to listen to. I can't remember who recommended Igor, but that was pretty decent. Okay. I don't care what anyone says. Wood elves are cool. Disturbed. Yeah, Disturbed is good. I've heard plenty of Disturbed. I actually think yeah, Coheed and Cambria's it's interesting because it came in during that era where, like, rock was turning into a lot of that alternative rock. It came in, like, right at the same time that, like, Hawthorne Heights and like, Paramore and stuff was starting to come in, and alternative rock was taking the scene. And then Coheed and Cambria came out there with a lot heavier stuff that also managed to go ahead and merge the alternative scene. Yeah, I did. 13th floor elevators. I know about Sabaton. I've definitely heard my fair share of Sabaton. Yeah, they can definitely be a bit out there. We're talking Sabaton, but I do like their stuff. Danger Kids I am familiar with. 13th floor elevators I have not heard of, though. Powerwolf. I don't even know what that is. But I'll write it down. I'm interested. Powerwolf. Powerwolf. Oh! I assume that's just how it goes. Um, 13th floor elevators. It's a good thing that this chat will save itself, so just in case. Spaceman 3. Blur. You gotta know Blur. I don't think that I know Blur, but she's heard of Blur. Skillet. Not the biggest fan of Skillet.
Skillet is actually a religious band.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. You don't really think of Skillet as being a religious band, but, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Skillet. It might also have something to do with one of my exes really, really liking Skillet. And because of that, I'm just not about it.
Hey, I'm cool.
Lift is cool. Five-Finger Death Punch. Five-Finger Death Punch is pretty cool. I did get to see them, I got to see them in concert when I did security for Warped Tour once. Yeah, Warped Tour is pretty cool. Warped Tour is pretty cool. But then again, I've only worked security. I haven't been able to go enjoy Warped Tour. Because it passed through Utah, they gave the Air Force an option to be able to run security. So we all just jumped on it. Iron Maiden? Of course, everybody knows Iron Maiden. Yeah, even if you don't know them, you know the album covers because they're frickin'... Wow.
Sorry. I was thinking of that sunflower person.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
I'll tell you that I do like, I think Boston is a good band, though most people are not partial to Boston. Anyone who knows Blur passes my cool test. 3 Days Grace. Yeah, 3 Days Grace is pretty good, which is unfortunate because 3 Doors Down came out right about the same time as 3 Days Grace. And it's just one of those bands that gets highly overshadowed.
Kryptonite was my senior song.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of bands that I feel just... Oh, we're almost there. Bring Me the Horizon, is that what you're thinking of? That's a controversial one. Just like saying Blood on the Dance Floor is another. Just one of those. Alex is on Fire. I love Alex is on Fire. But you never hear about them anymore, so... Like... Or Alexis on Fire, however the fuck you conjunction they're named, but... Boiled Frogs, man, Boiled Frogs is such a good song. Raise your hand if you like Nirvana. I can't agree with that one. I don't like Nirvana. Like, it's one of those things that's a huge contention point to me.
It was a music of my time, and I'm like, if it's on, I'll listen to it, but it would go out of my playlist.
Orc or Orcs? Which do you prefer? Oh, with the K or the C? I'd have to go with the K because it definitely makes me think of Big Daka energy. You know, oh there, Space Marine boy, we gotta go in and put you full of holes in Daka. You know, that kind of energy. Pinty red goes faster. How dare you, Azel? I'm sorry. It's just I don't like Nirvana. Don't get me wrong. I will be the first to say they were a good band, but I don't like them. How about Death Grips? Death Grips is okay. Like even if they, here's the thing. Like Foo Fighters is a good band. I don't know what bands. I know that Nirvana spawned a whole bunch of it, but grunge itself is just not a big... I don't like grunge as a genre. I'll listen to some grunge, but I don't think it's that great. Yep, I think this is it. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if that would work for that.
And it could.
it's not an original idea.
Does it have to be an original idea?
Usually stuff like that is its original concept.
Why does everyone hate Nickelback? I think it's just a meme at this point that people hate Nickelback. 9 Inch Nails is... I don't like 9 Inch Nails because I think fucking what's-his-name is just an asshole. Like, him as a person in general is an asshole. And that's what makes me not like... You never should have never touched that Daikatana. It's the gateway to the land of the dead. Now prepare to join us. Prepare to die. Oh. Thanks. I guess. Does this mean I'm constantly going to get attacked? Red Fang? I am not familiar with Red Fang. But as for Nickelback, it's just a meme at this point. I don't think people really hate on Nickelback. I think people just know Nickelback and everybody slams into it just because it's the cool thing to do.
A lot of their songs sound the same.
Yeah, and that is true.
Like,
If you...
literally the only reason.
If you overlay Nickelback on top of each other, their music does kind of have a samey feel to it. Let me go deposit my gold, though. We're gonna drop 23,000 into the box. Okay, and take all of these orcs. Elliott Smith. Name sounds familiar. Hold on. Elliott Smith. Okay, yeah, I recognize. Elliott Smith is okay. Scout, you sound like yeah, you were not kidding when you were talking about big on the indies. The Strokes. Ow, heck. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, I saved right before the door. Heck me. I thought frickin'... I thought I hadn't saved at all. 1,000-foot crutch. 1,000-foot crutch is good. I'm gonna keep going until we both find something we love. Why? Is it that important? Breaking Benjamin? They're okay. She likes Breaking Benjamin.
That was one of my comfort bands.
Alright, so Minacera seeks to sweet-talk me. Her letters of no value. She may have it. However, my people may not be so lenient towards an Argonian wandering the halls. If you can survive my realm and find the letter, you may take it. I will also consider you to be a worthy Argonian. No, I just love talking about music. Yeah, I mean, there's no problem with talking about music. I don't have any issue talking about it. Fancy armbands. Let me take those. Okay, does it actually... Shoot, I'm gonna have to relearn the whole thing. Tame Impala? Tame Impala's not bad, but, like... I'll tell you, I fucking jammed to some Imogen Heap and Frou Frou, though. If you want to talk about, like frippy, floaty music. Aphex Twins? Like, you're coming up with bands that I'm just like, they're okay. Okay, let me take a look. From what I remember, this is a very complex dungeon. I didn't like it the first time I went through it. I probably will not like it the second time that I'm going through it. Okay, I think I'm gonna probably go up the left here. Radiohead, come on, who doesn't love Radiohead? I don't like Radiohead that much. You're gonna find, like I said, you're gonna find my taste in music is very weird. Radiohead's okay. I don't even know those bands you're listing. I've heard of them because I've had my way around a lot of music, so. Radiohead's okay. If we're talking about bands with the name Head in them, I think that Motorhead is better. Okay. This goes up. I remember that there's a big place that I have to go to. There's like this giant opening that I remember I need to go to. That's about all I can remember. Oh, so your 80s rock is your thing? Alice in Chains? Alice in Chains is okay. I mean, I wouldn't say 80s rock is my thing. I do enjoy me some hair metal. And I do enjoy psychedelic stuff. You know, like Camel and Pink Floyd and Echoes, stuff like that. I'm not actually a big fan of Metallica or Guns N' Roses. I know, it's one of those things that I feel like is always going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? How can you not like these bands, kind of thing. I don't know, it's usually because... Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Metallica because they're assholes. I think some of their stuff is good, but I don't like AC/DC either. I know, I'm about to hit up on the sacrilegious points, but I'm not a big fan of AC/DC either. Like...
When it comes to you, he has to think less mainstream.
What?
So when it comes to you, he has to try less mainstream.
Yeah, like, I'm very much, it's not that I don't like mainstream artists or I don't like some stuff like that. It's just that I've had a lot of exposure to, like, a ton of different music. So, like, I do like a lot of indie stuff, but mainly I have a problem with a lot of the fucking people that do these bands and stuff like that. It's less the band and more the people. The music is okay, and don't get me wrong, I'll listen to a lot of this stuff. Just because I don't like the band doesn't mean I won't listen to their music. Baby metal, fight me. Shoegaze is okay. My Bloody Valentine, I hate to admit it, but yes, I do like them. Rob Zombie, I don't think anybody could really argue with Rob Zombie. I do think Rob Zombie, just as a good person, and his music is pretty good too. My Bloody Valentine, that is not one I hear very often, though. Interesting choice. Let's see. Yeah. Ozzy Osbourne's alright. I will, and when I say alright, I mean Ozzy's pretty good. I am surprisingly somebody who I like Black Sabbath, but I actually really like Rainbow. The group he was in before that. Are you just saying that so I stop naming band names? No, not at all. Those are, like, these are my opinions. I mean, it doesn't bother me if you're naming band names, not at all. I am A-okay with answering those kind of things. I think this should take me to the big chamber. Yeah, it does take me to the big chamber. Cool. I fucking forgot there are scorpions here. Son of Angels, which came later, became Crush 40. Ah. I recognize Crush 40, but I didn't know about Son of Angels. Hot take, Sid Barrett is 1,000 times better. I can't agree with that. I am not a fan of Sid Barrett's work. I think Sid Barrett leaving... You still walking? Well, you tell me, am I still walking? But yeah, of course, I'm still walking everywhere. Chetan, nice to see you back. Yeah, I remember when you popped in just the other day. Funnily enough, I was just looking at a list of people who had come in, and I was like, I haven't seen you in a while, so pretty interesting that you actually popped in. Okay, so I need to go where from here? Second floor I know is where I need to be, but I can't remember what. Hardline? Don't you dare say it, Azo. Sid is a legend. I mean... regardless if he's a legend, I still don't have to like him that much. I'm not a big fan of Piper. I think, what is it, Piper at the Edge of Dawn? Isn't that their first album or something like that? I just don't like it. It's weird. Like, the album is fine itself, and it really pushes the edge of what you can call psychedelic rock. So if you're talking about true psychedelic rock, yeah, that's absolutely what it is. But still not that the biggest fan of it. Working at warehouse these days, can't even play Clash for one match. It's good to see you too. Well, at least I'm glad that you're doing okay. When people don't show up, I wonder if something happened to them and everything. And I usually tend to remember, you know, because we had the whole interaction of where you told me how to pronounce your name properly, so that is why I remember it. So usually when people... You're all good, I'm just messing. Man, I've had some heated debates over it, and people have been like, fight me, I'll stab your mama. Oh, I'm just like, dude. Okay, so I need to, let's see, take the staircase to south. I am using a guide for this one because I'm not going to sit here and go around all day trying to find my way around this place. It is problematic, to say the least. This place is just so damn big, I don't want to get it. You gotta use face cam, mate? I mean, I have before. The reason I don't use face cam is usually I get immediately off of work and go and start doing this. Like, the last thing I want to worry about is looking good for the camera. Like, that's just the truth of it. I just don't feel like using face cam because I don't want to deal with looking good for the camera. Huh?
Make your dog talk.
Yeah, maybe that would... Yeah, that would probably work. Be back soon, gotta do some stuff. Alright, we'll see you then. Okay, so, from up here, which is good because I figured this would be the right way to go. Up the staircase, turn the right, take the hallway, all the way to the end. I mean, if you really want to see my face, like, it's on my channel. It's there. I always tell people if they're really that curious, you can find me. It is not hurt at all. See you 5 minutes later, man. Oh, are you heading out too? That is a Daedra. We'll grab this cuirass. Okay, from here, because I think this is right. Go out into this hallway. Let's see. Up the thing, go. Head through at the end of the hallway. Turn the left, turn a left, turn a left. So big U-turn. These freaking orc shamans are terrifying. They hit so damn hard. But I feel like I've gone the wrong way. I think I've gone the right way. Once you get to a short cavern, then turn north, go through the door at the end of the hall. Downwards, just a hallway past the intersection. I mean, I guess we'll figure out if I'm going the right way here in a moment. Don't need that Tonto. Okay, if I am going the right way, it should look relatively like that. Yep. Okay, that's what I needed. I think. Okay, yep, I'm going the right way. Awesome. Yeah, this is one dungeon I will just wander around forever. There are a couple dungeons I have encountered that are just like that. So I'm trying my best not to, like, get lost in them. Okay. Go up the thing. Keep going. Adamantium, take that this way. Does it go this way? Left, left, right, right, right. Okay, left. Left, right. Priest robes. These look nice. Right. Then right. This should be the room. Excuse me. Alright, there's that letter. A lot of angry orcs behind this thing. I love how they all just come flooding out the second I grab that letter. Stop, you can't have that letter. Even though our leader said you could. We no listen to Gortwog. We our own orc. One of the orcs in here. We don't listen to Gortwog. Have you heard of Avenged Sevenfold and Offspring and Godsmack? I have heard of all of those. I really like Avenged Sevenfold. Offspring has more of that California sound, and I'm not a big fan of like, ska in general. And Offspring definitely reminds me more of ska than anything. I know they're not, but they just kind of have that sound, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. Godsmack's okay. Ooh, hold on. I gotta... Left... then left, and another left, then turn to the right. Yeah, you'll have to give me a second. Like, I can probably answer your guys' question, but I'm really concentrating on how to get out of here. I also have a really big thing about, like, very bad music. I love me some freaking terrible music. Like, music people think is absolute garbage. My mashups are not garbage, okay?
I'm saying they're garbage, I'm saying that's another thing you like.
Oh, I also really like mashups, you know. Like Slipknot with Spice Girls. Oh shit, I gotta take this out as quickly as possible. Didn't expect to find that there. I'll take your magical robes, whatever they are. Ooh. Adamantium Pauldron, I'll take that too. Hold on, am I going the right way? Yes. I need to go left. Take your golds. What else we got? Nothing else. I think I need to go... Where was my entrance? There. So I need to go the opposite direction here. Was that her? How old are you? I am 33. I know that I sound like I'm a teenager, but I am a full-grown adult, as the kids say. I am grown. I can buy my own candy. I do not need your white van. I have my own. I don't have a white van. Listen, I have a white van. I'd be real concerned about myself. Just asking. Yeah, no issue. No issue. It doesn't bother me at all. A lot of people are always curious. It's one of those big questions, you know. Besides, how old are you and are you single? I'm just kidding. Nobody asks me if I'm single. I look like half an eaten donut.
Oh, stop.
Alright, good and good. We're out of here now. So, we can do is we're going to take this gold. We're going to remove 33,000 gold into the wagon. We are also going to go ahead and remove all of this and this Daedric Katana, which we'll go ahead and enchant later at some point. Get rid of this. Undeniable access. That's the... I don't know what this does. Info, powers unknown. Okay. Alright, now from here, we need to go over back to Sentinel and then head back to Daggerfall. I don't really have much of a choice in those respects. Either way, even if I would have gone over from here, dropped off this thing, what's-her-name would have asked me to go ahead and grab the Ghost Cocaine, but I still would have had to go to Orsinium and then back to Daggerfall and then back wherever they needed me to go. So I guess this is overall a better way to go about it. We are going west something here. How much time did you spend to arrive there? So this whole quest line kind of started over in here. I got this quest. I think it took me about a day to head across over to Daggerfall here. It took roughly about another day to get all the way to Yukalon and then a little here. I think it was to Dania. So I guess that'd be 1 day, 2, 3, which was somewhere around here, I think. No, it was somewhere here. So this would be this is day 4 of the quest circle. So heading back over this way, it'll probably be like 5, 6, 7, and then I'm going to need to head back here. So 8, 9. So it's probably going to take me about a full week and some change to be able to complete the quest lines that I'm on right now. Oh no, I didn't want to waste my spell on that. So yeah, it took me a little bit to get to where I am right now. And then it's going to take me another few days. So about 4 to 5 days is what it took me to get from the start of the quest to make the circle to grab a bunch of other quests to complete a bunch of other quests. Yeah. Damn, for one quest you spend almost 10 days? Well, right now I have two quests on me. So what I'm doing is knocking out 2 sets of quests at once. So I guess roughly about 5 days a quest. Because I'm running everywhere, I can do stuff with my quests that other people couldn't. I can pick up a whole bunch of main story quests and be able to knock them out all at once. Just chatting. Oh, yeah. So there are a lot of quests in Daggerfall that if you pick them up, if you fail to complete them in a certain amount of time, that's it. You will be unable to complete the main quest. And when a lot of people do fast travel, they tend to be cautious when they're fast traveling, which eats a lot of time. One of the quests that I have right now gave me 300 and something odd days to complete the quest, right? It has only taken me, in-game, I think it's only been 3 or 4 days. Don't you feel bored when you just walk for an hour or two? Not really. I mean, when you guys talk to me, it makes it a hell of a lot easier. I mean, I think anybody would feel bored just walking in one direction the entire time. But because I have you guys to keep me company, it's not that bad. I know it's pretty bad to sit there and watch it all, so that's why when people leave and everything, I don't blame them. It's not the most engaging gameplay. But I hope people stick around for the conversations. Because I don't have a problem really discussing stuff. It can be tiring, but... oh, excuse me. Talking about being bored. I'm just tired. I didn't sleep too well. Mate, you're the best. I appreciate it. I just try and do the same thing. I try and keep people entertained. Live long, okay? I will do my best. I can only live as long as my telomeres will tell me I can. How do you endure it? Tell us your secret. No, yeah. It's just talking to you guys. That's what really makes it. At the end of the day, I would be sitting here just bored out of my mind if it weren't for the chat. That's one thing that I really learned in Ark. During the meat runs, and during waiting for eggs, and sitting there just feeding meat to dinosaurs and everything, it was really difficult before the Maywing came about. And even after the Maywing came about, it was still difficult. I was still constantly doing meat runs because of raising gigas. But yeah, it taught me to really appreciate the chat, because there are times where I'm just sitting there doing the same thing all over the place. No exceptions. And I'm just running, and the environment looks the same, or I'm just doing the same activity. Is that game show us some rain and snowy weather? It can. There's rain, there's thunderstorms. It has seasons and everything. So, I'm currently on Last Seed, and I think when it switches over, it'll switch to a new season next month. When did I even get this quest? So, since I got the Underking quest, it's been all of 10 in-game days, and it told me I have 314. So, I can play around with quests in a way that nobody else can. Because I can just run to these quests without having to worry about time. It makes traveling more relaxing. Oh yeah, when weather changes and stuff, I hear that there is also music that only plays during winter time. One of the other viewers, he really likes Daggerfall, and he was telling me that when winter comes, the soundtrack actually has unique songs that only play during winter. So I'm looking forward to that. I think I started the quest in winter, but I didn't think too much of it because, you know, I was just kind of playing the game. I wasn't worried about the soundtrack. I was worried about not getting my butt nibbled by a bat or something. Hey, welcome back, Scout. Did you beat up all those bad guys? Hey, Ray, welcome back. Nice to see you. You caught me just as I finished up a dungeon, and now I am... what is that at the top right? I don't actually know. I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what that bar does. I think maybe it's a donation bar or something. Or it's used for something, but I haven't really bothered to check what it's used for. When I had both bars, the top left and the top right, I knew that I could modify the top left bar. And I did. It was originally supposed to be the subscriber bar in the top left, but it's been modified so that way when subscribers pop up, you see them in the center, so it pops up in the stream. So that top right bar, I have no idea what it's used for. SOS mods for Skyrim are the best. No bot schlongs of Skyrim, you perverts. Seasons of Skyrim. Oh, wait a second. There's a schlongs of Skyrim? I didn't even... Listen, as somebody who's never played Skyrim and who barely mods any of their games, there's a lot of things that, like, I don't know. I had no idea. There's a schlongs of Skyrim mod. I thought it was from the game, trying to figure out about 10 minutes for what it works. What I think is probably... There is one game that I would absolutely love to play, but I'm really, really bad at it. But man, if I could get a whole bunch of people together to play this game, it would be awesome. Let me look it up. Aza, if you ever go to Nexus Mods for Skyrim, cover your eyes. Man, I'm gonna cover my ears to stop listening to the protests of people telling me not to look at these mods. I hear they can be pretty risque. Don't worry, I'm an adult. I'll go ahead and sign off on my own papers to say I'm allowed to do it. I'll give myself permission. What am I looking for? There is a... hold on, let me see. Space game, RTS, big universe, multiplayer. Well, let me see. I think it's... Ah, Stellaris. That's what it is. Man, let me tell you, if you want a space game that's gonna challenge you every step of the way, that's gonna really make you want to play, Stellaris is where it's at. You get Stellaris with all of its updates, you are gonna have the time of your life. Just a warning, didn't mean to say it like that. You're good. You're good, Scout. I was just playing around. What do you do for a living? Tell us things about yourself. I am 5'4". I am a Libra. I actually do not enjoy long walks on the beach, but I do like being on the beach. I am a data analyst for the government. I can't really go too much into detail, but that's my day job, which is why I'm usually pretty busy before the stream and then get the stream, and that's why I'm officially not going over 3 hours anymore, because my job is one of those that just kind of sucks my soul out sometimes. Not that I don't like it or anything, so if any of my job finds me, hello and welcome, and I do love my job, but you know, working for the government isn't all it's cracked up to be. They pay you a lot of money, but you're sacrificing a lot of your personal time for a good paycheck. So, seriously though, check out Seasons of Skyrim if you're interested in mods. I try not to mod games that often. If I was doing it on my own personal thing and I wasn't doing it for the stream, I would absolutely mod it. Just like in Fallout 4. I don't have very many mods in Fallout 4. I have very minimal amounts of mods, and mainly they're just for quality of life things rather than anything else. I don't have any extra XP or stuff. I do have a limit lifter on the build limits in settlements and such, just so that way I can go ahead and put more stuff. When I was experimenting with creating music in Fallout 4, I had to go ahead and lift up the things, because between all the wires I had going everywhere, the power sources, and the programming that I had to go ahead and put into the computer to make music, it was pain in the ass. So, yeah, that's about the only mod, and like a layering mod that allows me to put multiple items in each slot, creating music. Yeah, Fallout 4, you can make music in Fallout 4. It's very difficult, but it is doable. I'll see if I can find some stuff, but I don't know if I have any of the full songs or builds. I might have like a bar or two of music, but yeah, you can actually make music in Fallout 4. I'll tell you about it here in just a moment, because it's a very complicated process. What do you like to watch at YouTube? I'm really big on edutainment channels. I like learning So a lot of the channels that I watch are pretty boring stuff, like Budget Museum or entertaining like Tier Zoo, or stuff like I used to like Vsauce, but not so much anymore. I haven't seen really Vsauce produce much stuff that I really like. I've watched the entire catalog. I really enjoy this channel called Isaac Asimov. He is a big engineer, space science fiction guy who goes through all the concepts of science fiction that you can think of and talks about them on a realistic level. And I love watching his stuff. Yeah, those are really boring. I guess, you know, they're not boring to me because I like learning stuff. The more I learn, the more I can talk about. The more conversations I can have. You know, there's nothing like walking up to somebody who's talking who's talking about radiation and its effects on chemical bonds, and being able to go ahead and walk up and talk about chemical chains and their reactions and the corrosion at the atomic level or something like that. There's nothing like being able to talk gravity mechanics and physics with people, even though I don't have a degree in any of that. Like, being able to go ahead and talk about art, even though I'm not that great at art, but knowing some of the techniques and knowing different artists and knowing what they've done, it opens up a lot of avenues to have conversations with people. So, it may not always be interesting, but it leads to interesting people, and that's the important part. So, that's why I like a lot of this stuff. I'd go up to that conversation and be like, yeah, those bloat flies are something, huh? Okay, so going back to Accept This, what games do you like to play? A lot of stuff. I'm playing Tiny Tina's Wonderland and Elden Ring at the moment in my spare time, which isn't very much. My favorite game ever is The World Ends With You. It will always be my favorite game ever. So, you don't have to worry about asking that. My favorite genre is RTS. Real-time strategy games. You know, like where you create a base and then you create units and the units go harvest stuff and then you have to create more units to fight off other people coming at you. Those are my favorite genre. I love bullet hells, even though I am not that good at them, too. So you hand me a bullet hell, I think watching those things is fascinating, because it requires pixel-perfect movement when you get to some of the top ones. As for creating music in Fallout 4, let me see if I can think of the process. Number one, you're gonna need a computer. Number two, you're gonna need a lot of wires, a ton. You're also gonna need a lot of delays and delay switches, and then you're going to need to take the computer, hook them up to the delay switches, and then put whatever note you want in the very first block. So the first thing it'll do is you'll program that, there's like a note pole or something like that. I can't exactly remember what it is, but there's a way to go ahead and create music. You hook it up to the computer and you can program it to be whatever note you want. The reason you have all these delay items is because you need to create the delay so that way when the first note goes off, the electricity passes through the delay, delays the appropriate amount of time, then plays the note afterwards. So, like, creating a single bar of music, I'm pretty sure, like, it ate through a ton of resources and a ton of build space. Like, I'll see if I can find a video. I'll see if I can. I'm pretty sure I have Fallout 4 still on my thing. I'll go on to Fallout 4. I'll see if I can find one of my files that actually has a little bit of work on it. I'll record a small video talking about the actual music. I'll show you what the layout looks like and the setup and everything. And you'll have to work on it from there because it's too complicated to really explain it, and I haven't done it in a long time. But you'll see exactly what I'm doing once you see the layout of all the note blocks and the wires and everything else. Let's see. I enjoy really simple games where you're competing against other players to do insert task. Such as, like, what's that game where you play as a bubble eating other bubbles? Yeah. Yeah, I like Agar. That's, the IO is just the dot. But I saw it online, it's called Agar. Okay, Agario. I really enjoy Agario, even though there are a whole bunch of bots out there and everything. Just because it's a very simple thing. You know, you're just playing a tiny bubble, trying to eat other bubbles. It's as simple as it gets. What is that, your character?
Yeah, I need the
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I really enjoy small games like that. Answering really fast or my net is slow. No, that's my fiance. We live together. That's all. So that's why they're here. So the reason you hear them is because they're literally in the same room as me. So worry you not. There is a small delay. I've worked on fixing it. It's actually a lot better than it used to be. It used to have like a 28-30 second delay between the time you guys would hear me and everything else. But I've done some fixes to reduce latency. I'm going to try and reduce latency even more. I'm just not sure how that's going to affect it if I try and make any more changes is all. Thanks for explaining the music thing. I tried looking it up, but there's surprisingly nothing about making music. How did you learn that you could do it? Completely on accident. How I learned I could do it was I accidentally set up a note block and then connected the computer to it thinking that I was going to be able to go ahead and control everything. And I found out it made a noise. And then I was like, what? So... then I thought about, hold on, wait a second. So I attached a switch to this block, and then I threw the switch, and it made another noise, and I was like, oh, this is a thing? So I went into the computer, and there's an option to actually set note blocks to different music, or to different notes, and yeah. I spaced out looking at the screen without thinking, just relax, you can watch till the end. There it is, raining, make it 10 times better. Yeah, the rain is pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty cool because, I've definitely been flying up in the air at some points, and the rain is actually spawning up there somewhere. It's not just, like, spawning just a few feet above, it's actually... pretty serious rain. It goes all the way up, so if you're in the air and you're just like falling or floating down, the raindrops are actually floating down with you. So pretty expansive rain. I thought it would just be like a sheet of rain that just goes up there, but no, it's actually up at the ceiling, wherever the ceiling is. You love Fallout 4, might even be your favorite game ever made. Fallout 4 did a pretty good job. I don't always like all of the mechanics that Fallout 4 has in it, but I do like enough of them to say that it is a fantastic game. Yeah, the whole music thing was just a personal project. I looked for it, and I couldn't find any guides on it, nor could I find anybody, well, that's pretty good. I couldn't find anybody talking about it. There was nothing out there. So, you hearing about music and being like, what, you can make music? This is probably the only place you're going to hear about it. I've never heard anybody talk about it elsewhere either. Yeah, it's kind of the same way it's done in, yeah, with Minecraft, how they have redstone, but it's all electrical and stuff. And the thing is, it's very energy minimal too. So it does not. I put in nuclear reactors because it makes it easier to power all of the stuff. But really, you don't need a nuclear reactor. I think you can run them off of generators. The problem really just becomes the amount of wires that get involved to it. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's completely doable. I might actually, after I get off, go check my Fallout 4 file and see, because I know exactly where to go. I have my music bars set up at Starlight Drive-In, because it was such a large expanse. I personally would have done it over at the Vault.
I wanted to have my main base of the Dragon, and it's such a little build space.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you play the new God of... No, I haven't played the new God of War.
I did.
You did? Yeah, I haven't played it. I hear it is a great game, and maybe I'd go ahead and play it at some point, but my queue is forever long. You gotta make a video on that, you'd probably get a bunch of views. I thought about doing it. I actually did a whole stream about it on Twitch once. But, like, nobody showed up. I sat there and I was making the music, and I was crafting, I was actually crafting the notes, going back and forth, showing the process of how to connect everything, showing the process of how to put things into place, showing how to go ahead and create the signals themselves. And it's such an in-depth and involved process. But yeah, nobody showed up. And I mean, since Twitch got rid of all their videos, it's not like you can go look for it. That's not something that exists anymore. Oh, I was wondering what the heck was going on. It's my phone. I'll probably eventually get to God of War at some point. But yeah, it's a very... Creating music in Fallout 4 is such a time-intensive process. Creating any large amount of music would really be a work. You would not be spending like a day or two. You would be spending months creating it, making sure everything worked, checking all of it. Dang, you could try and make a video about it, then shoot some emails to some Fallout channels, hopefully bring in some views. People gotta know about this. It's fascinating. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, it's not something I would... It takes a long time. I remember it took me 10 days to create a single bar of music. I mean, then again, it was the beginning of Megalovania, the whole dun 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 dun. That took like 10 days to make. I'm sure there might be more efficient ways to go about it, but because I have to test test every note, I have to make sure that the delays are coming in, so that way I can put. I think you can do delays in sixteenths, eighths, quarters, and halves too. So you can actually program a pretty substantially large amount of stuff. But I don't think anybody cared to put in as much time and effort into the building system to be able to create that. So that's probably why it didn't get done. Yeah, any single piece of music that I would have to make in there would require a long time. I'm sure the community as a whole would jump on it if they knew about it, but it's just not a thing people know about. Nor care to put in the time and effort. You would have to install a mod to allow more space is the problem. All right. We'll go ahead and catch you later, chat. Much appreciate you stopping in. Always wonderful to see you. And you have a good night. What are you doing, hun? But yeah, it's a very convoluted and involved process. I can't see very many people wanting to do it. I think if that's what I'm saying, the community has to know. Imagine all the cool mods that would be made. Yeah, I mean, if like, I'll tell you that I don't think it's possible without mods to begin with. Because in order to do it, I had to remove some of the caps on building. Yeah, I would have done it within the Vault-Tec Vault, the open one, but I'd kind of already built people into that place, and it's a little stocked full. Otherwise, I would chase everybody out of it, and then, you know, just have it a wasteland where nobody comes in. Yeah, without the build limit, like, removal mods, I don't think it's possible to really do it. Just because the sheer amount of items you're going to have to put down. And when I go ahead and show the small bit on it, you'll see what I'm talking about. I don't know if I'll post it on, like, YouTube or something, but it is one of those things that I am very proud of. Imagine making holotape electronic music albums. I wish I knew creation engine modding. I mean, it's possible. It is definitely possible to create whatever song you would like, but it would just take forever. That's all. I think the best thing I could possibly go ahead and do is probably, you're part of the Discord, right? No, I am not. What am I getting on? Oh. That's okay, a lot of people used to refer to me as Vox. I can join, I just don't use Discord, like, ever. If you do end up here, send me a thing, and I'll post my stuff. Send me a thing, just a message on there. It's probably the easiest way to get around to it. It's the exact same name, that's why I only put the number. But just send me a thing there. Best way to go ahead and get a hold of me. And if you do, I will record a video, see about compressing it, and then see about posting it in the Discord. I don't know how I would go about that, as I've never really done one. I've never really made a video for Discord, but I would be more than happy to try.
You might have to do this because Discord doesn't play nice large files.
I mean, hell, if nothing else, I could always throw you onto a voice thing and actually play you what I'm looking at. I don't know if there's a video function, otherwise I would just show you. I don't want to do a stream on it because it's something I don't want everybody to just pounce on the second that I put it out there. I'd like to be able to actually create something and then go ahead and work on making a video. But if you are curious, I want to make sure that you're aware, because I would not mind you making something with it. I feel like, if anything, you would probably take the time and effort to create music. So, I would be more than happy to show you exactly how it's done if you would be interested in it. How far have we gotten? Oh my god, we've just barely cracked into Mineveria. Hold on, let me see. Find... I think it's here. Yeah, so Lysandus' tomb is actually here somewhere. It's only dungeons maybe down here. Yeah, so Lysandus' tomb is in Mineveria in here. So that's where I'm going to have to come back to. Hey, Joe, how you doing? If humans can't see air, can fish see water? But since humans can see water, can fish see air? I don't think fish realize that they're in water. I think they're just in whatever they're in. I'm sure they understand that they're in a thing, and if they're not in the thing, there is something above it where it's not water. I'm sure there is a water, not water recognition.
Probably their version of outer space.
Yeah, it's probably what they would consider outer space, you know? If you're living your whole life in water, and then suddenly you get chucked up in the air. Because, I mean, there's flying fish. I mean, and yeah, but they glide. They, like, float in the air. So, like, flying fish, when they come out, obviously, their bodies are designed to be able to float above the water for a few seconds and such. Because they can definitely fly. I mean, not fly like a bird, but they glide. You know, they Buzz Lightyear above the water. They also wouldn't recognize it. I don't think there are many fish that are smart enough to know that there's a difference between, or recognize that that's air and that's water. It would just be water, not water. Octopus and mud skippers, on the other hand, I think would recognize it, because mud skippers, you know, they come out of the thing and they put themselves in their little lung and keep themselves from drying out. Discord makes my brain hurt. How do I find you on there? Alright, let me open up my thing. So, you should be able to, when you finally do open up Discord, I think there is a... There should be, like, a little man with his hand raised. Like a little symbol to be like you're trying to find somebody. And from there, you should be able to go ahead and, like, add somebody. And it'll ask you for their username and their number. And my username is the same across the board. And then that number is what you use to type in to find me. I remember when I saw a hawk at school, I pictured me holding the hawk, and I wish that happened. But you just saw it. As a friend, right? It's not on a server. Yeah, if you add me as a friend, I can always send you an invite to the server. I just don't post the server out there so much anymore because we had a lot of trolls when we first started and people just getting slamming the server. So, but yeah, if you add me, I'll go ahead and send you some of the stuff or show you exactly what I'm doing. So if you felt like working on it, you can. Because there's a lot of stuff that I've done, or ideas that I've come out with, or things that I've discovered that are not common knowledge, that are things that I would love to put the time and effort into, but I just don't have the time, and I don't have the effort, so I can't do it. if that just makes sense there. And I would love if somebody went ahead and I just accept it. But I would love if somebody could showcase it, because I just don't have the time. So if you really were interested in doing this Fallout 4 thing, I can tell you all about it. It itself would probably be a challenge, and you could probably grow an entire channel off of it. It's a good idea, I just don't have the time for it. Alright, save, and hopefully not get attacked. I am so dumb. I just realized I've been sitting here with my katana instead of my extra 30% movement speed that I could have had this whole time. No wonder everything's been going so damn slow. I got four things. All into luck, I guess. I could have been going so much faster this whole time. Centaur? What are you doing here? Give me your money. Alright, we are continuing to go slightly southwest here. I feel so dumb. I could have been going so much faster had I just equipped those two items, but I completely forgot I didn't have them on. I probably could have been at the shoreline by now. just gonna let that coast. I gotta check this. See where that guy is sitting. That is interesting. Yeah, it looks like he is making his way through. He's only posting like once every 2 weeks, it looks like. The guy who I am competing with to finish off this no fast travel, and he just posted a video of making Skyrim beatable again, rather than continuing on Daggerfall. So I'm kind of wondering. Hey, 09 Pop 09, day 52 of in-game or real life. Of real life, not in-game. No, Dave, I'm definitely almost a year in, I think, of real time, or of in-game time. Well, maybe like 6 months-ish, or more. So, yeah, sorry about that. Hello and welcome to the channel. Let me give you the official, like, thing here. Always appreciate people coming to the channel. Let me actually show you the map here. So, if you're familiar with Daggerfall, obviously I started where I started, over in the corner. Walked all the way to Daggerfall itself, or to the thing to go ahead and talk to the lady. Hella neat with that one random encounter mod. No, so it's just 20... It's not just 20, so it's not just 20 minutes of holding W. It's like 4 hours of holding W is more like it. But yeah, I mean, I didn't want to go ahead and mod it because it's my first time doing Daggerfall. So I wanted to play it how it was meant to be. Who are you talking to? I'm talking to people on Twitch. I broadcast to both Twitch and YouTube, so... So yeah, I started out in here, knocked all of this out that I needed to for the quest line, walked over to Bethany, finished out Bethany. It's not just 20 minutes, he's holding back tears in his eyes. Yeah, it's like that meme where where they have that interview with the cat and they're just like, hey, on YouTube. Yeah, I do most of my main broadcasting on YouTube, so... you'll see me talking to both sides at once. If you want to check out the entire series, it's on YouTube. YouTube treated me right. I can't bring myself to side with Twitch permanently. Plus, I found out if I do the affiliate ship, Twitch owns my stuff for 24 hours, so I don't think I want to do that just because, you know, it'd be a little bit of a problem. Link it so I can be in sync with the other people? Sure thing. Give me just a second here. I gotta copy out my stuff here for the channel. Get out of here. Share, copy link. Go over to Twitch. Exit out of this. Go to my personal channel. 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to make it easier for people to go ahead and get in sync with everybody here. Okay, there you go. That's the actual thing. And my channel has a whole bunch of stuff. If you're interested in Ark, I did an entire year in Ark, starting from the very beginning. Biscuit Buzzer, welcome back. Evo, glad to see you here. Twitch is kind of crabby to get into nowadays. Used to be a baller where you have good rates and weren't signing exclusively to it. Yeah, and that's the problem, is the exclusivity makes it difficult. I really don't want to sign myself to an exclusivity when I can broadcast to a larger audience all at once. So yeah, I went over to Daggerfall, went over to Bethany. That took forever getting prepared for. Walked all the way over here, got myself prepared to cross the ocean. Walked myself over to Sentinel, knocked out the Sentinel stuff, went all the way over to Wayrest, did the Wayrest stuff, went over to Dragontail to deliver the letter, ran back to Wayrest, did Belfaria, knocked out Belfaria, ran back over to do a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, modded Daggerfall was pretty baller. A lot of people have told me modded Daggerfall would be good. But like I said, I kind of wanted to just play the game. I knew nothing about it to begin with. I'm completely new to Daggerfall as a whole. My original introduction was Oblivion, and I've never played Skyrim, so I kind of wanted to, like, you know, build up to it. If I'm not mistaken, I've been told, are you also playing vanilla dungeon generation or small dungeons? Vanilla dungeon generation, I assume. The only thing that has really changed is I'm playing the Unity version of Daggerfall, but that's it. Other than that, it's whatever the game threw at me. I made no changes to anything except for click to flick. You know, so that way I can attack things with clicking instead of dragging my mouse. Oblivion is great, Skyrim's okay. Yeah, no, never played it, so, I mean, I'm kind of building my way up there. I'm honestly just excited to finish this. If I'm not mistaken, like, I've been told a few times, and I haven't really been able to find it, but I'm pretty sure this will be the world's first completion of Daggerfall with no fast travel. And I always have people check my stuff. I do a lot of things live so people can see what I'm doing. I don't play when I'm not streaming or anything, so... Daggerfall Unity allows an experimental Saw dungeons things, which makes random dungeons less than a 10-hour slog. I have found a few dungeons which are definitely, like, taken me multiple days. Like 3 or 4 or 5 hours. I've definitely encountered dungeons like that, but not every dungeon, like... One of my regulars, Propane, he pops in and he's like, how the fuck do you find... I'm just like, I just go where I think the quest would be, you know? There's two places a quest item is going to be. All the way up or all the way down. Or at the center. So I just kind of like... I just kind of go where I think it would go. Or go where I think I should go. Or based on my memory if I've been in the dungeon before. So... No, I don't have any, let's see, controls, advanced, yeah, I don't think I have anything, like, toggle sneak, click to attack, smoothing and acceleration, controls, primary, joystick, defaults. Yeah, even on the main menu of Unity, I don't think I have anything selected that would, like, stitch the videos together and then list it as Daggerfall. No fast travel speed run, mostly glitchless. Mostly glitchless. Mostly glitchless %, that's funny. I mean, yeah, I guess maybe it would be... Maybe it could be its own percentage. I'd have to actually count to see how long it would be. I mean, that would be crazy, creating its own category of speedrun, which isn't even speedrun, it's just, hey, speak of the devil. How you doing, Propane? But mainly it would just be its own category of long play. I think people would see it as a meme, and I doubt many people would attempt it. It's an insane, like, challenge. It's a really insane challenge. I mean, and even me sitting here at 505% speed, like, it's still long. There's no doubt about it, it is nothing but long. But yeah, really, it's the chat that makes it worth it. If it weren't for the chat, you know, I would have definitely, like, lost my bananas a long time ago. It's not that entertaining to watch, but the chat itself keeps it going. You know, when we're sitting over here talking about what animal genes would you splice into yourself, how would Noah's Ark actually function, genetic modification, types of music, dating experiences, financial advice, how cryptocurrency function. When we just have conversation, period, like, that's what keeps it going. Nobody comes here for the gameplay. Everybody comes here for the conversation. Or at least that's what I like to tell people to keep them hooked. Went to the gym for a second time. You're sore now? Nice. What muscle group are you working on? How to best yell at your boss without getting fired? Oh yeah, you know, how to professionally tell your boss to go fuck off. Yeah, stuff like that, you know. Those are always conversations. I don't really think there's a good way to go ahead and yell at your boss, but I actively yell at my line leads, but only in a way where I'm right. That's funny. That takes a lot of skill. To elegantly tell somebody to fuck off without making them feel like a piece of shit does take a lot of skill. So, I'm very well aware of that one. Mostly legs? Alright, that's good. Getting them glutes. Getting them calf muscles going. Just go easy on the servers. Yeah, oh, I'm very easy on the servers. Servers are, like, I always tell servers when they come up to me, number one, we're extremely low maintenance. And I know that there are other people, because they get people all days who are just, like, fucking, like, slamming into them for no damn reason. And I'm just like, come on. These people, they're not making enough. Sure, the company's gonna go ahead and provide for them, but it's not enough. Because if they're not making tips and the company has to do it, they're going to go ahead and cut their hours, they're going to cut their shifts, you know, they're not going to get enough tables, or they're going to overwork them until they do have enough tables. Like, there's so many reasons why servers do have it pretty rough. And I've been there. Gains for the Emperor. How you doing, Orctimus Prime? Welcome. Less elegantly, why are you wasting my time, you baboon? I'm trying to work. Oh, yeah. I've definitely been around my fair share of maintainers and mechanics. And there's no elegant way to say, get that wrench out of your ass and go turn it. People are garbo. People can definitely be garbage. I'm fascinated by people. I really do think people are just fascinating. Even the worst of us. You know, I always wonder what takes somebody to that place where they feel like murdering somebody is the proper option. What line of thinking do you have to go ahead and get to, and what kind of, like, childhood did you have to be raised to, or what malfunction do you specifically have that causes you to be who you are? I'm good. Orcs are best. Yeah, orcs are great. Orcs with the K. You know, paint it red, go fast. I like people in a bubble. People are insanely interesting. Yeah, I always think people are interesting. Surprisingly enough, I wasn't always, like, the most open-minded person, but all you need is love. I don't know. I mean, love causes its fair share of issues. I mean, the Beatles went ahead and sang about it because that was a thing, but look at people who are clearly less whole, like your E.D. Jeans, who are mentally defunct, like your Ed Geins. I try and like, here's how I always picture it. I don't hate things. There's a specific reason why I hate things or people or anything else. Like, I wouldn't say love is horse shit. Love is great. You just gotta find the right person, or you gotta find somebody who shares your opinions. You gotta find somebody who's willing to go ahead and get down and dirty the way you get down and dirty, however that may be. That's all. Versus you have people who are there, cognizant, and smart. I mean, there are a lot of people who are smart in different ways. It's kind of like when people come over and they say, oh man, you can't speak English, but then, you know, they may speak like 7 other different languages, and English is just not their proficient one. Or you have people who are not smart at particular things, but they're absolute geniuses when you put them, when you put a wrench in their hand. Or, you know, people who are musically inclined, or people who are capable of doing math on the spot, but they'll be damned if they go ahead and take care of themselves or stuff like that. There's all kinds of smart, so I try and not measure a fish's ability to climb a tree based on a chimpanzee. Well, if that's the good way to put it, I suppose. But yeah, there are things that I dislike, but it's mainly because of particular people or reasons or stuff like that. Love as a concept is horseshit. Actually, emotional love is great. I mean, the way that people view love can definitely be cancerous. Sometimes people take it a little too far, and the modern definition of love is a little difficult to handle, because love has gone from being something that... Let me think of a good way to put this. Love has gone from being something that people just kind of dove into and stuck with to being something more superficial and instantaneous and just add water. I feel like. Agape love, unconditional, not needy, fake love. Yeah, and it's the difference between between making your dough to make your pizza and cut up your ingredients, to ordering pizza from a place to just add water or just throw in your oven. Like, they're all pizzas, but like, some of those pizzas are coming from a box, some of those pizzas are coming from a place, some of those pizzas you're literally just unboxing to throw in the oven. Gotta go. I'm getting yelled at to figure out dinner. All right. Well, Monday through Saturday is my stream schedule, so feel free to pop in whenever. Hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow. Thursdays are my late day, so Thursdays I don't broadcast until, like, usually-ish about now. And I do definitely appreciate the sub. It really helps the channel grow. You guys make it all worth it. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I wouldn't say love is terrible, but the way that people express it, it's kind of hard to define. It really comes down to instant gratification here. And you'll hear me complain about instant gratification. If you have people constantly and consistently getting the things that they want instantly, it's hard to go ahead and develop a muscle if you don't consistently work the muscle. It's hard to go ahead and develop a skill if it's not something that you practice. I'm a helpless romantic? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm one of those that jumps in the deep end. I can't help it. It's just my personality. I have always gone into a relationship assuming that it'll be my last. I'm not very clingy or anything else, but I can be pretty deathly romantic. I just, you know, the many relationships that I have been in, I have tried my best not to do so anymore. It's not always appreciated. And, you know, being a prior fuckboy has taught me there are things you do and there are things you don't do. So. I will say being a hoe did teach me a lot about how to not be a hoe. Yeah. You learn the things that you don't want. We should be close to the edge. Yeah, we're closing in on it. Let me plan my attack here. So, if I do get over to the edge, I think I am going to try and get as close as I can to this corner here. That'll probably be my best bet. And then we'll just take the most direct route we possibly can. Sleep on the beach, half cast out the water walking. Run from there, sleep on the ocean, quarter cast out water walking, and then the rest will just be stamina. And then just continue quarter casting, resting, quarter casting, resting, quarter casting, resting. Or quarter casting and then using all my stamina, my magic for stamina, and then resting. That's what I mean. Always write songs to a girl if I like her, and I'll write poetry and stuff. Sensitive, artsy guy, not every girl's cup of tea, but it is what it is. I have always found that comedy is the absolute best weapon. I think comedy is the superior way to go ahead and go about it. Because at the end of the day, people's looks are gonna fade. People are gonna get cranky. You're not always going to be able to do the grand gestures. You're not always gonna be able to, skydive with smoke out of the back of your thing and create a heart in the air or whatever the fuck. Your hand's gonna get arthritis. You're not gonna be able to walk places. You might get in an accident. But comedy's all in your head. Comedy is one of those things that becomes a mindset and a personality. So, regardless if something happens to you, you'll always be you at the end of the day. So I found comedy to be the best way to approach it. If they're laughing, they're happy, right? That's kind of just how I've worked at it. It doesn't work for everybody. It's not always a 100% guaranteed tool. It's not a Swiss Army knife. It's not a skeleton key. But it does work. Keep them laughing, right? Also, I'm 5'4", so all I gotta do is fucking walk in a room and people erupt in laughter. She does not like when I go ahead and self-deprecate. I keep telling her that I'm fine. Like, it doesn't really bother me. I just like the absurdity of it. That's all. Absolutely right. I mean, there's many ways to skin a cat at the end of the day. Just, that's just my approach. Comedy is king. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole series on it. But, Jessica Rabbit had it right. Why you with him? He keeps me laughing. It had a very strong impact on me as a child, and I mean, even to this day, I still think about it. Keeps me laughing. When things get serious, when times get tough, the only people that you have is the person that you're with. You've got each other. So, why not go ahead and make the best of it? You're going to have arguments. There's going to be problems. But if you've got each other and you can laugh at the end of the day, even if you're sitting there, even if times are the absolute worst, one of you's got to go ahead and be strong. I'm really bad at getting in touch with my emotions personally. I know myself extremely well, but I was taught to compartmentalize, and it's a thing I do a lot of subconsciously now, so I tend to throw my emotions into boxes and bottles and handle them at some later date, rather than letting them just be seen and dealt with. It'd be the same if I'd be the same if it weren't from music. It's the best way for me to get those emotions out. Trance is usually what does it for me. It's why I don't listen to trance too often, even though it's one of my favorite genres of music. When I used to get depressed as a kid, or I didn't have anything to do, or I felt bad, my outlet was drawing and writing and creating stuff as a whole. So for me, depression is both a bad and a good feeling, because if I'm depressed, I feel bad about it. I feel bad about myself and everything. But I also get really creative because it was how I dealt with that feeling. So trance for me kind of puts me in that state because it reminds me a lot of people. A lot of music that I listen to, I associate with memories. My dad always told me that if you do that, you'll be able to go ahead and remember a lot more. Because whenever you hear a song, you'll think about a memory that you have. You'll picture someone, or you'll picture an experience. So hearing music not only just becomes about experiencing the music itself, but it also becomes a sort of way to go ahead and reflect on the decisions you've made and the experiences you've had that brought you to that. So music to me is a very humbling experience because I listen to it. And I enjoy the music, but I also picture all of the memories I have associated with it. And it's helped me a lot. The problem is just trance is plagued with a lot of high school angst and stuff. So listening to trance brings me back to all of those feelings and emotions and everything else that I dealt with in high school. So, makes me creative, makes me depressed. You know, can't always win every battle. Ooh, I just noticed that, like, high trumpet out in the back. I was listening to the music, and I'm just sitting here, like, noticing some of the extra instruments that I didn't hear. What do you mean? What do you mean? A whole bunch of stuff you have to scroll through. Yeah, it looks like it's not doing the YouTube stuff. I don't know. God bless Daggerfall rain music. It's funny because I think of this as the arena swimming music. Hey, Esteban, I'm doing all right. I'm making the long trip over to the corner here so I can get ready to run back to Sentinel again. So I have another long string of running to go. It's funny because I run for hours just to spend like 15-20 minutes in a dungeon, to get out of the dungeon to go run for more hours. So it's kind of infuriating at this point, where I'm just like, I'm spending so much time running from place to place. Like, it has stopped being an enjoyable experience, and it is a chore to get from one place. I mean, I'm definitely close to almost done. That's for damn sure. With all the quests that I have to go, I think, and I ran through the numbers with somebody earlier, that from where I am right now, let's see, 1, 2, let's assume 2 would be here, 3, 4, okay, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I have to do the tomb, which is here. So 5, 6, and then wherever it's going to send me. So roughly within a week, I should be caught up to the tomb. I have a question for you. Why do you consider using boats as cheating for this challenge? It's mainly because fast travel. Boats, if I could use a boat, and if I could actually drive the boat, it would be different. But using a boat in this game is considered a form of fast travel. So if I was to go from one shore to another by using a boat, I would have to open up the screen. I would have to say travel to this location, select by boat, and here, I'll demonstrate real quick. And we'll save just in case something dumb happens, right? So, I am right here now, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and travel over here, right? Fast travel. That's why. Transport by ship. This is 100% why I would consider it cheating, because this thing right here. Fast travel by ship. That's the only reason why. If boats were drivable, I would absolutely use them. But alas, they are not. I don't mean fast travel, blah, blah, I mean buying a boat and cross the ocean by boat. No, that's exactly the thing. Boats aren't drivable in here. When you buy a boat, you can't buy a boat in the bank. Yeah, you can buy a boat in the bank, but the boat is considered like a house. It's not considered like a drivable thing. It doesn't pop up in the options. You can pull ship. Good question. If a boat is drivable, it's fine, but I don't think that it is. You know what? Let's ask the internet. I'm on a boat. Can you drive a boat in Daggerfall? I guess Daggerfall Unity is what I should put in here. Let's see. Ships. Ships in Daggerfall are purchasable at any port or town. They act much like houses. There are different ships available, one costing 100,000 and 200. Much like houses, you can only own one ship at a time, and dropped items will not disappear. If you own a ship, selecting ship in the transportation menu will instantly transport you to your vessel. Which, teleportation is one of those things I've kind of ruled out as being unable to use. So that's one. While aboard, other travel options become unavailable. Selecting ship again will then teleport you back to your original locations. They have lower decks that you can enter via doors. Fast traveling on a ship can dramatically remove yours. It's basically, you can't drive it. That's the problem. Yeah. But basically, if I were to select a ship, it teleports me to the ship, but I can't really drive it. It's like a house on the water that I could use to fast travel from place to place, but that's it. So, yeah, that's my big reason. Puzzled as I never bought a ship. I could definitely buy a ship, just to say, hey, I've got one. But I mean, I'd have to go ahead and demonstrate that, hey, give me a second, I'm gonna open Daggerfall, ask for a loan for a ship to test that. Sure thing. Either way, I think at this point, I am faster than any ship or horse. So, even if I could, I don't think it would be worth it. A ship might go 300% speed, but at 505% speed, I am outrunning everything. A ship takes 3 days to sail across the bay. It takes me about a day or a day and a half to run it. I mean, maybe 2 at the max. So I'm definitely going faster than a ship would. Oh, shit. I almost did it. I almost did it. This is a place I can't just go flying off. If you get on a horse now, are you slower? Yeah, let me demonstrate. So this is me running, right? This is me on horse. Now back to foot. Yeah, horse is way slower than I am at this point. I remember this. I threw myself off this cliff many a time. So any ship or horse at this point, even if I had one and even if it was capable of moving faster than me, there's no... Or even if I had a ship, there's no way it would move faster than I do. So, this is the reason I need to slow down. I'll just demonstrate it real quick so you guys get a feel for it. Instant death. That's why I had to slow the fuck down here. We gotta find safe ways to go down this this mountain. Because I will fucking fly off and just die. The one time my speed is a huge detriment. You could be a Chad and jump down there? Sure, but I don't have before you land cast slow fall. I've got no magic right now. That's the only reason. Hey, I did it. Hooray. Okay, now let's see where I'm at. I am right here, which means I'm going to need to travel... I guess southwest would be where it goes. Alright, sounds good there. Let's go to rest enemies. Oh. I still have not recast my freaking water walking. Perfect. Alright, my dudes, this is where we are calling in here for the night. So for anybody who is new to the channel, make sure to like, sub, or follow. Helps the channel grow. And yeah, so we are going to be crossing over. My plan is to cross over from here, over here, and then just run back to Sentinel. I might be able to make it in one day. I mean, considering that I ran from here to Orsinium, I mean... That's roughly about this distance. I might make it to about here. I don't know if I'll make it all the way, but that is the goal anyway. But yeah, hopefully you guys liked it. I know it's not always the most entertaining, but I try my best to keep you guys entertained. Anyway, Monday through Saturday, you know my schedule, and I will see you all again tomorrow. And remember, if your streamer isn't streaming, I am. I'll see you guys then. Have a great night.